Thank you so much, Seth, for the update. Uh, yeah. See, when you're working and doing all these different things that you're putting on, talking about these matches, sometimes you can do this crazy thing like not have any sound. So, because there are no rules with this, I'll go back to just give like highlights of the different things that I was talking about with Stephanie's run, excuse me, with Jordynne's run as champ. So we start off Jordynne's run. Thank you so much, Seth, for the tip, by the way. And thank you for reviewing, by the way. We have Jordynne start her run going against Trinity, as Trinity was the champ at the time, the Knockouts champ, and she had an amazing run. And I really love that even though when Trinity came in, she had WWE all over her. Even when people were trying to see her as coming as TNA, they were still thinking about what she did in WWE. And Trinity did an amazing job with having such great chemistry with all the women on the TNA roster to really show that she definitely did earn that title and really had the fans plugged into every title match that she had. And Jordynne was really proving once we started getting towards the end of 2023, how the writing was kind of on the wall that soon Jordynne was going to have that title again. When it was going to happen, we really didn't know. But you can really see that that was more than likely going to happen, that she was actually going to be able to hold that title. And I think that with both women coming into this match at Hard to Kill, when you really saw how TNA was coming back. They weren't going to be called Impact Wrestling anymore. They were going to go back to how TNA was before and really embrace all the things that fans that had been watching TNA for as long as they did were going to be able to see that again. I think that this heavyweight match certainly did help to cement that returning attitude of pride in TNA. And I think that with the way that Jordynne has really been able to show that she really has TNA written all over her, with the way that she really plugs TNA, how proud she is to be a part of it. It really made sense that with Trinity leaving, and I didn't think that Trinity was going to lose the title in this. That was very surprising to me. But we saw like the week prior to this match that it kind of seemed like she would. So it really was awesome that she was able to have that title go to Jordynne because of how much she just loves the brand and how much she loves embracing that and going all over the place, really solidifying that TNA is such a strong brand, that the Knockouts division is. And this match was so intense, so brutal. Many times I didn't think Trinity was going to make it out of this match alive, but she did, and they did such a great job really setting home that this was Jordynne's third title reign and she was coming in strong. So I am going to get into more detail and more of a review of this when I do the best matches and moments of 2024 a little bit later down the year. But if you have not seen this match, I really recommend it as one of my favorite matches of this year. And I cannot wait to actually like fully review it later on. So we go from this shocking win, because I really thought Trinity was going to have the title more, to another very shocking moment, which was and this is Jordynne holding that title again and really being excited for it. And if memory serves me correctly, I think it was like a new design for the title as we were getting back into Impact no longer being the name for TNA and getting back into the TNA brand. So that was really cool too. We get to a very shocking but exciting moment for Jordynne coming up next, and that is her time being in the 2024 Royal Rumble. I think that that WWE, did a really good job of making sure that, because there was a little bit of a gap in between the time that we saw any other knockout champion come into the Royal Rumble, that I don't think anyone was expecting her to be a part of this Royal Rumble. And I certainly enjoyed it because I was there in person. I actually got to be there. And even before the match, a lot of people that I was talking to, when we are kind of picking who we think would be in the Royal Rumble, we all love Jordynne, but we did not expect her to be a part of this Royal Rumble. We thought that WWE was going to have obviously some surprises, but probably not have anyone from any other promotion at the time. So when her name was on the Titantron, you immediately hear everyone gasp, like they're shocked, but then you had the holy shit chants, and that was just awesome. And you could see the relief and the excitement on Jordynne's face when she saw how the WWE universe was embracing her actually being there. And that was awesome. She definitely deserved it. You see immediately that Jordynne gets to have that moment with Naomi as she returned that night to WWE, how they were both genuinely excited for each other, but they completely turned that off a moment later to remember, look, we're part of the Rumble. We both want to get to WrestleMania, so we're going to have to duke it out. And they just start throwing blows at each other. It was an awesome moment to see, and it was quite thrilling to get to see another interaction with Naomi, because then she was Naomi. Literally in a matter of a week, that switched. Naomi and Jordynne have this interaction, and then Jordynne having all these amazing moments with women that we could have dreamed of her having these type of interactions with. And I will get into that once again toward the end of this year and talk more in detail about the Women's Royal Rumble match and Jordynne's experience and time in the Royal Rumble. But it was amazing seeing her be a part of this. It's also awesome over the past few years how we've seen WWE really give that type of prestige and respect for the women that are holding the Knockouts championships, because they truly deserve to be able to have those moments where they're seeing that they're not in a bubble, like the rest of the WWE or the rest of the wrestling world and the WWE included in that actually are fans of theirs and they really like what they're doing. So this was an awesome moment and a great way to really start off Jordynne's title reign. So we go from that to this first title defense really that we're seeing from Jordynne. We're back on TNA soil, so to speak, and seeing her actually defend this title against Giselle Shaw, who I feel definitely deserves to have all these opportunities because of the type of work that Giselle had been putting in. We see just a mere few months before this, that Shaw had already won the Ultimate X match, and you could tell at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. And you could see that Giselle felt like that was the writing on the wall to show that not only is she a number one contender, but she's absolutely going to win that Knockouts championship. And you see she's putting everything in order. Like she wins the Ultimate X match. Then not too long before that, you see her betraying anyone that was a part of her entourage, Savannah Evans being the last one, to really cement that Shaw didn't need anyone in her corner in her mind. She needed to be solo coming into this match. And if she had to betray certain people to do that, she didn't care. And her plan, it seemed, as this match started, was to immediately try and tire out Grace. And I thought that that was really smart, because when you're going against Grace, you know that you can't, in many cases, with a lot of competitors that she has, they can't outpower her. So many times you're really going to try to have to tire her out and just be quicker, more agile than Jordynne can be. So I thought that was smart going into this match. But Grace really goes for that power. And we also see for one of the first times that Ash by Elegance is at ringside, and she's trying very hard to be a distraction. But Grace really tries to make sure that she has a laser focus and that she is not getting distracted by Ash. And she comes out of this match successful because of that. She is level-headed. She's really trying to show that in this particular run, this third run that she has. And early on, that type of mindset really works in her favor. So I think it was great booking to have Giselle and Grace face off against one another. I would personally love to see that happen again, because I feel that Giselle has done so much to get to the point where she could challenge, that I think that I'm hoping maybe we might see this in 2025, that Giselle will hold that title, because I definitely think she deserves it with everything that she's proven. So let's move on to the next one. We have a three-way title defense or match between Grace, Tasha Steelz, and Xia Brookside. As I said earlier, but I don't mind repeating it again, I think that Xia Brookside really has been making waves in TNA since her debut, and I think that she's showing what this next generation of knockouts are going to be bringing to the table. Tasha has been at the top of the mountain in the knockouts division. She has been a former knockouts tag team champ, an Ultimate X winner, and a knockouts heavyweight champ. So she knows what it's like to always have someone trying to take that title and always having to defend it, and really making sure that you have probably two eyes in the back of your head, because there's always going to be someone who's going to feel that they're privy to that title, that they deserve it for whatever reasons they have. So I thought that this was someone that was a great opponent for Jordynne to go against in this title defense that she has, especially early on, to really see what Jordynne is made of with this title reign. And we see at times that Jordynne is showing incredible feats of strength in this title match. There are times where she's lifting up both Xia and Tasha. There was a great spot on the ring apron where she has both of them on her shoulders, and she has full control of this match. We see Ash by Elegance again at ringside, but that doesn't last long, because her plan to try to create distraction backfires when she has her very expensive champagne poured all over her $8,000 dress by Xia Brookside accidentally, and this causes Ash to run out of the arena with her personal concierge. And despite all of the interruptions, the Juggernaut driver on Xia Brookside gets Jordynne the win for the night. It was a solid match, but I just have never really been a fan of when you have like the three-way matches for heavyweight championships. I think it just creates too much chaos in the ring, and it doesn't really give you a chance to focus on why that one particular challenger is going for the title. I think they were both great opponents for Grace, but I just never really been a fan of matches, so that just might, be me. But I'm hoping that Tasha Steelz gets another shot on her own at another time. So I'm hoping that might happen, but we'll see. We go to the next match, which I think was a really great feud. And you might see it continue between Jordynne Grace and Steph DeLander. We have a really great build-up before we get to Rebellion with these two women. And I love that Matt Cardona was involved in this feud between Steph DeLander and Jordynne Grace, considering the fact that Matt has history with Jordynne in the ring, as they were both competing for the digital championship, the TNA digital championship, and how Jordynne kind of has this, this one up on Matt because she actually did beat him. And you can tell that just eats up at Matt, and he wants revenge, and he's definitely using Steph to help enact that revenge. And I love that Steph really plays on the fact that maybe Grace might be distracted with making these different appearances in the Royal Rumble, that maybe she's not completely focused on the women in TNA, and kind of sowing that seed that some knockouts who are just totally here for TNA, they don't have any desire to be in WWE, and they really want to hold that title because they feel like they would totally represent the brand better, would be someone like Steph. And I like how you see that kind of being put into Jordynne's mind, and how Jordynne's making it clear she is a fighting champion. She absolutely has no problem being focused on having appearances in different promotions, while also really paying attention to the women that want to hold that title in TNA and being ready to defend it at any time. So we see these women come into the Rebellion match. And Steph comes into this match with her hired guns, the good hands, to ensure her victory as they are at ringside. You see Steph come into this match already going for the attack as soon as Jordynne comes into the ring, being really aggressive and keeping up with the champ, actually. Even gaining control and showing that her height, strength, and speed is a true match for Jordynne. And honestly, this is one of the first times that you're seeing that in Jordynne's run, where she really is matched with Steph in every way, and that it's not going to be an easy night for her. And we see Ash by Elegance again watching Jordynne's every move, but this time she's watching safely in the skybox. So she's definitely learned her lesson with being at ringside. So we see that even though Ash is out there, she's certainly not a distraction, but we get a distraction from the good hands. And this causes Jordynne to accidentally hit the ref. And this causes Steph to try to make the pin, but the ref is out. So the lights go out and PCO comes out and tries to just literally take everyone out of action. He hits the ref, he hits good hands, and we see that Steph tries to think on her feet so that she isn't attacked, and she tries to entice PCO. We see Khan come out and he attacks PCO right before Lander can get choke slammed by PCO. We see that Jordynne tries to come and try to be level-headed and gain control of the match. She even stands up to Khan. Before that, the good hands attack Grace in her efforts to try to create some balance in this match. The lights go out again, and Sami Callihan comes out to make a comeback to the fans' delight. Callihan immediately brings in Steph back into the ring, and Jordynne quickly gets the win to retain her title. And I loved the chemistry that you clearly see in this match with Jordynne and with Steph. I felt like because they had such great chemistry and there was so much that they could still do in the match, that having all the distractions kind of took away from what they were doing. It still made for a great match, but I just like seeing these two just go at it without really anyone being at ringside. So I'm hoping if these two women collide again, that we can see that, where it's just the two of them just laying into each other. So we see more between these two later on during Jordynne's title reign, but we have a special match not too long after this between Miyu Yamashita and Jordynne in kind of like an Impact, I wouldn't say open challenge, but I guess a match to really get her like back in the zone after having that feud that was a bit draining, especially with the mind games that Matt Cardona and Steph were doing. So this was more of a match to just kind of get her in gear and have her really get into that shape that you need to be in and constantly be in as a champ. And Miyu is such a strong competitor for Jordynne Grace. Miyu has been all over the world for the past few years, showing that she is one of the quickest, swiftest wrestlers in the world. Jordynne tries to use strength, but the speed and deadly strikes is really what fuels this match and causes Miyu to take the lead early on, which I'm not really surprised about, because Miyu really just has that ability in every match that she's usually in to have that control over it. She just has such a mind for in a fighting style to really have that control over her opponent, no matter how big they are, how much power they might have. Those strikes are just unbeatable in many ways. So we have Ash by Elegance in her usual VIP seat watching the match in the skybox. And Jordynne gets a leg up when she gets Miyu in a submission hold and starts delivering chops and body slams that knocks down Miyu. But Miyu is not intimidated by Grace, so she quickly gets up And we see a series of blows by both women that cause them to knock each other out. Miyu puts up a good fight, but Grace gets the juggernaut driver in and keeps the title. I would love to see a rematch between these two because this was just a solid, hard nosed fight that I think I can't say who I would suspect would take the title away from Jordynne, but and also I don't know if Miyu would even have the notion that she would want to just be in TNA because of the success that she has been able to have in many promotions. That I don't know if she wants to be planted in one place, but I would just love to see these two collide. Even if it was like a non-title match, I would personally like to see that because these two were really great together. So we'll see if that happens. We have Stephanie DeLander and Jordynne Grace compete again, but we see more people being brought to the party as we have Jordynne Grace with PCO versus Steph DeLander with Khan. So we have this mixed tag match at Under Siege, and we see Jordynne start off this match in the ring with Khan, and we start to see that Khan is not the same challenge as the knockouts that Jordynne has fought before. So she is a bit flustered initially when she sees that everything that she tries to do does not work against Khan. And you can see Steph DeLander on the other side of the ring really just laughing this up as she sees that Jordynne kind of has a struggle in the beginning to get a leg up against her opponent. And Khan gets Jordynne into the corner and really make sure that he isolates her from her partner to keep control in this match. And Jordynne Grace gets her bearings and she gains control. Steph and Jordynne have great chemistry in this match, really duking it out at one point. We see again that Steph tries to seduce PCO to avoid getting a choke slam. But when he gets the tag, Jordynne is able to take Khan down and show off her incredible skills as she lifts him up, and you see the crowd go crazy over that. Jordynne and Steph are finally left in the ring together, and we see Grace get her finisher to get the win for her team. This match was good for what it was. It was a mixed tag match, and just like I said earlier, I would have preferred if we saw like a singles title match that didn't have a lot of distractions or other people getting into the ring, but it was enjoyable for what you expect, honestly, for a mixed tag match. I think that both women have such great chemistry that I would like to see them kind of have like their own thing without anyone coming to interfere. That would just be my dream because I really feel like these women just really know how to showcase each other. So we see after this match, Jordynne is constantly making sure that she's putting it out there that she's a fighting champ and that she likes to bring or that she likes to put it out there that she's willing to face any and all competitors. And you see that during an Impact episode where she has this challenge for Marty Bell. And she is taking it seriously and making it clear to the Knockouts division that she is open to these matches. And we have Marty Bell, who is seemingly trying to climb up the ladder in the Knockouts division with this title shot. We see Ash by Elegance, a mannequin, not the real person, Ash by Elegance mannequin at the entrance ramp with her personal concierge taking care of her, even pouring her imaginary champagne. That was just comedy gold, and it was really funny to see that while you're looking at this serious match in the ring. So Jordynne starts off this match being in control. A hip attack from Marty Bell switches the power dynamic. You kind of see Marty trying to come in strong in this match so that she can kind of gain some control, and it is effective for a bit of time. But we see some brutal blows to the arm and back of Marty Bell that resets the dominance of this match going to Grace at that point, and we see a juggernaut driver get the win for Grace. So even though it was at a bit of times a strong showing for Marty Bell, you know, kind of bringing her into the mix to show that she could rightfully challenge for the title, we do see that Jordynne does rather quickly take control over the match and ultimately get the win. We see that as Jordynne Grace is trying to walk up the ramp, that Allison Kay comes out and gets revenge for her tag partner Marty's loss and attack the champ. We see that maybe TNA is setting up a possible tag team run for the Hex, which was comprised of Marty Bell and Allison Kay. They were actually one of my favorite tag teams over the past few years, as they had success in NWA and Women's Wrestling Army. I would really love to see if they could really build something strong as a tag team in TNA. So when I saw this match and I saw how that ending was, with it, what TNA was making sure that they were bringing Marty and Allison together again, I was thrilled to see it. And at this point in Jordynne's run in this match, she had been champ for 131 days. So I think it's safe to say that in this match, no one was expecting Jordynne to lose the title, of course. But I like that it set the tone that many women on the roster could feel like they could actually challenge for the title and see, you know, where that might lead. So we come off of this match. Well, we kind of know what's going to happen. I just wanted to hold on, take a moment to kind of spotlight Bobby. Hello, Bobby said, I'd like to see Jordynne Grace defend TNA Knockout Champion against NXT wrestler JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Look, I would say with anything like that, I think it's pretty much safe for all of us to have the mentality that anything is possible because of what TNA and WWE has been doing, where they kind of had us on the edge of our seats. So we don't know what's going to happen, who's going to challenge who. So it really is up to TNA and WWE who we see Jordynne actually challenge. But I think it's such an exciting time because every week, every pay-per-view, you don't know who you might see Jordynne face. So anything is possible. And those are two strong competitors for the title. I agree. The Hex, Marty Bell, and Allison Kay are great together. They truly are. They have really great tag team chemistry, which everyone doesn't have when they're paired together. But based off of their real life friendship, you see that chemistry in the ring. Now, kind of going into what Bobby brought up about his dream list on who Jordynne can face at NXT, we go from this title match to a surprise appearance from Jordynne Grace in NXT. Once again, kudos to WWE and TNA when they have brought Jordynne into WWE in any way. It has always come off as shocking. There weren't any spoilers about it or anyone reporting that they saw Jordynne Grace at the airport or whatever. It has been nice to have these spoiler-free moments that just seem really organic, and it's very exciting for the fans. It was something that I was hoping to see due to the reception and the reaction that Grace received after being in the Rumble. So this was an awesome moment to see the banter and the challenge between Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace. It was thrilling because you see these two women holding their belts up and really just having that arrogance and ego and pride in the fact that they are two very strong champions and that they will be colliding soon in their champion versus championship match at NXT Battleground. So I love the way that WWE capitalized on this awesome reception that they saw in January, kind of held off a bit so that it could be a surprise when Jordynne came back. So I loved it. I know and these are the great moments when you go on social media for things surrounding wrestling, the type of reaction even after the show and during the show that Jordynne got for making this appearance was just awesome. And it really set the tone that NXT is going to continue to do some amazing things and things that are extremely surprising happening within this year. So we have this appearance. We even have Jordynne Grace fight in a non-title match for this title. And then, I'm sorry, excuse me, just to fight to show and make a debut in NXT outside of just having this interaction with Roxanne. And that was very exciting to see too, because it really helped solidify for some people that may have not really seen Jordynne in action outside of the Royal Rumble, how formidable an opponent she is to Roxanne. And then we get to this NXT Battleground match. And you really see that WWE is kind of having their equivalent of the Forbidden Door with this collaboration with TNA, and it has been great so far. Jordynne Grace has been a staple in TNA for a while now, as I said, and she's proving that she is such a top draw. So this was also proven by the reaction that she had in January at the Royal Rumble, and certainly the reaction that we saw with her coming into NXT and making it clear she wanted to challenge Roxanne. And Jordynne Grace comes into this match once again hearing that amazing reaction that the fans have for her. And it just makes me feel every time that Jordynne is in WWE that I'm in some alternate universe where you're seeing TNA stars coming to WWE and getting that amazing reaction from the fans, and is all love just to see these dream matches. And I feel like everyone thought that Jordynne was going to be in control for most of the match between Roxanne, but Roxanne was really showing that vicious, feisty side and rough side that she does have. And I love how she was cementing in this match that Jordynne was not just going to come into this match and make her look bad on her turf. And she really did hold her own in this match. And we saw that back and forth between these women, and it was just really cool to see how they were completely holding their own. They had the audience in the palm of their hand. It was awesome. And we see as both women are taking each other to the limit, toward the end of the match, we see that Tatum Paxley and Ash by Elegance make an appearance and try to create a distraction, and they were sadly effective in this. We see Jordynne lose when Tatum and Paxley and Ash by Elegance come out, and so far, this has been the only loss that Jordynne has had during this title reign, by the way. So even though up until this point, Ash by Elegance was not successful in taking away from the type of laser focus that Jordynne has had in her past title matches. She certainly did that in this NXT match. And as we know, we saw the type of anger that Jordynne had, knowing that she lost in this match that had so much, actually more on it than gaining a title, was to show that prestige of TNA and how that was taken away from Ash and Tatum interfering in this match. So I love the way they left it off, because it really cemented that Jordynne had a gripe with both Ash by Elegance and Tatum because of what they did. But overall, this build up to this match, all of the press surrounding it, it really made this NXT event must-see TV. And I definitely think that it was nice to see Stevie Turner get to challenge Jordynne Grace on NXT. That was just awesome to see that a lot of women are now getting a lot of spotlight, a lot of chances and opportunities with Jordynne's title reign, and how she's just been taking everyone on, not thinking that someone was like underneath her, beneath her, actually taking these title shots seriously and showing that everyone can challenge. So we get into, of course, this anger that more than likely Jordynne has been holding on to after she lost to Roxanne. And we get into this next match where we see this open challenge that Jordynne has, and we are now back on TNA turf. So we see that she issues out this open challenge at Against All Odds in June. And who comes out? Tatum Paxley. So I like how this is a constant reminder that Grace is here to take on anyone. But I also like how Tatum answering the challenge also shows that anything can happen between WWE and TNA. And Tatum accepts the challenge, and she holds her own during this match. By the way, it was very impressive. So I like how this was a really great showing, not just for Grace, but also for Tatum in this match. And it's hard to really have a leg up on Jordynne Grace unless you possibly had time to really see her techniques and actually be in the ring with her prior to that, with all of the size and power that Jordynne has. So even though Tatum did put up a great fight, a bump handle driver seals the deal for Paxley as Grace did get this win. And Ash tries to get in a sneak attack, but a spine buster was received by Ash by Elegance instead. So we constantly keep seeing how now Ash is really revving it up. She's making sure that she is actually interfering in Jordynne's matches. And I love that you're seeing Tatum get this opportunity as she is a rising star in NXT. So we're seeing this exchange become really even between TNA and WWE, where you don't know who's going to show up on what show, or in this case, what pay-per-view. So it's a very exciting time, not just for Jordynne Grace with these title defenses, but just for TNA and WWE in general, as people are seeing that element of surprise come back and they're really get up for it. So as I said, you've seen this long build-up, a really good build-up for Ash by Elegance eventually getting that shot at the Knockouts title. And we finally see it at one of the biggest shows that TNA has every year, which is Slammiversary. And I love that TNA waited until then and really built this up, because it had us waiting for this. We had months where Ash was really building up her character, and now we see her as Ash. We're not thinking about anything that she has done in the past, and we see this really strong character actually that she's bringing up. So I love how before this match starts out, we find out that Ash has been she decided the week prior to the match to take a relaxing trip to Barbados to get some R&R to prepare herself for this match. And Jordynne finally has the ability to get her hands on Ash, and she really lays into her in this match. Ash is really impressive in this match. She does not give up easily, even after receiving some power slams, stiff chops to the chest, and a Samoan slam. An impressive tornado DDT from Ash really wows the crowd, and Ash really proved that she was a formidable opponent to Grace, but she doesn't take the title away from Jordynne in this match. I love the weight, the good booking, the build up for this match, and the character building for Ash by Elegance. I think they all went hand in hand, and it was very effective, and it left the crowd wanting more. I know I would certainly like to see these two face off again. This was a solid match and great storytelling on all ends. So I really enjoyed this. So we come from this very intense match, actually, that Ash and Jordynne Grace had. And what do we see the champ doing? Immediately, she goes back to making it clear she is open to any challenge. We see another open challenge that Jordynne has, and she faces off against none other than Rosemary. So we see kind of like a different version of Rosemary, as she has just recently made her return back to TNA. And Jordynne starts this match extending her hand as a sign of respect for the champ to the challenger, but Rosemary just pounces on Grace instead. Grace gains control and slows Rosemary down a bit, trying to make sure she has that reign over her. But Rosemary is just relentless in this match. She really goes for Grace, but she just could not get over the sheer power of Jordynne Grace, which a lot of the opponents of Jordynne realizes, and Jordynne is able to get the pin. But I do think that Rosemary, once again, as she usually does, was showing how she is never an easy opponent to have. She always shows that strength and ferociousness that is not surprising for someone the character Rosemary, but I do think that maybe we might see these two collide again. Just as Jordynne Grace was getting her second wind after having such an intense fight, you see Ash by Elegance, her personal concierge, come out and hand Ash not just any kendo stick, but a pink kendo stick that she uses to attack both Rosemary and Jordynne Grace. So this feud between Jordynne and Ash is definitely not over, not in the least bit. I love it because I love what they have been doing in the ring together. Even when they're not fighting, the type of story that they have with Ash just being pretty much on stalker level with how much she has been watching over Jordynne Grace's matches, everything about her, like literally studying her, following her to NXT even to mess up her title defenses, which have not been successful as of yet. It's just really great storytelling from these two women that I am definitely looking forward to them fighting again. But so far, these have been the title defenses that Jordynne has had. They have been absolutely brilliant matches. And I'm just going to take a commercial break to let you absorb all of those matches that I went over that Jordynne has had. And she has just been relentless in showing how great of a champ she's been. When we come back, I will give my closing thoughts of what I've thought about Jordynne Grace's title defenses and overall reign so far. Be right back.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Head to wwtalkpodstore.com and don't make me fight you. Shit.
All right, you guys better get your Women's Wrestling Talk merch because I don't think you want any problems with the boss lady. So, going into or kind of thinking and sitting down and really reflecting over Jordynne Grace's title run so far, I would say this third Knockouts title reign has been so successful for Jordynne because she really puts the work in to hold up that TNA banner wherever she goes. I love that even when she was in a WWE ring, she was seen as a formidable opponent. In the Rumble, in her single match with Roxanne Perez, she looked like $1,000,000 and all of those things. And most importantly, even just outside of what fans thought about Jordynne, she really put some respect, more respect and prestige toward the Knockouts Heavyweight Championship, where it just really seems like a coveted title that many women in different promotions would like to hold, as well as the Knockouts, the very impressive Knockouts that we've seen even challenged for this title over the past few months. Grace's latest title reign shows that long-term booking, as well as a champion that will defend their title with anyone, anywhere, will always make for good TV. Just as I was even thinking about this list and going over the matches again, I saw today, I think it was posted yesterday, but I saw it today, that Jordynne is going to be defending her title in a champion versus championship match in Puerto Rico this Saturday. So there is no breaks at all for Jordynne. She is always ready for the challenge, and I just love seeing that. I think that is going to constantly bring so much great attention towards TNA, towards the Knockouts division, and really create some other great partnerships for TNA. Because someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if TNA has a strong partnership with any of the promotion in Puerto Rico, but I think this is definitely a good sign and a window into how that would be moving forward. There isn't enough great things that I could say about this run that Jordynne has had, because every time you think, you know what, I saw one of the best matches that Jordynne can have with this title, she keeps upping the ante with what she's been doing. So I think that, especially just like I was saying, I'm going to have, in December, a list of some of the best moments and matches of this year. There's going to be so many times where Jordynne is a part of that because of how she has just been coming out with the hits that I can't wait to see what's next. I feel like, as I'm saying this, probably this week we'll have like some other great moment that will happen with Jordynne. But that's the awesome thing about being a wrestling fan right now, is that we're seeing a lot of great wrestlers really study the game and really understand that you really, because there's so much competition and so many promotions, you really have to make yourself stand out. And Jordynne is definitely one of those women that knows how to do that. I just want to take a moment to look at these comments. So we're saying, I was impressed by Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dane's performance against Jordynne Grace at TNA. I completely agree. I love, as I mentioned before, how Jordynne Grace's title reign and her success with coming to NXT, along with other people from NXT and TNA too, how it's kind of rubbing off on each other, and how that's making some fans that probably only watch TNA or only watch NXT really start to become excited about both products and really like seeing those moments where you have those surprise entrants coming into certain matches or open challenges. It is making for awesome TV, both for NXT and TNA. So as fans, we just win. This is a really great question, but kind of off of the cuff of TNA, but kind of focused on NWA. I am a big fan of Kenzie Page's run as NWA World Champion. I was kind of talking about that in one of the earlier episodes of Deep Dive, but you know what? It would probably be a good idea to kind of go through her title reign, considering the fact that many times, because of the availability now of NWA on CW, many people may not be seeing what she has been doing with her title reign. But I think that not only is Kenzie a very good wrestler, but to me, she is one of the best talkers in the industry now, man or woman. And I think that people really need to check her out because she really is that good. And it's just really making me think, you know what? We need to have a deep dive episode where we're talking about her title reign. I am a huge fan. I'm really looking forward to it, especially because she's so young. She still has a bunch more that she can do in the industry. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Her sister is just as talented. I think that Kenzie has a bit more of the gap, but I think they're both, making sure that they're bringing that old school vibe where you can't just be great in the ring, but you really have to know how to tell stories and be great on the mic. So I do like seeing that. I think especially with Deep Dive, we'll go more into the great things that I do see come out of NWA, because I think they're not talked about as much for the good things and the amazing talent that they actually have in the company. So yeah, that's a future episode. Thanks for that, because now the gears are turning. But thank you for watching this episode, guys. Once again, things happen, technical issues. So probably for the first 25 minutes, you might not be able to hear what was going on, but me, I'm just going to go back like I did and let you know everything that was going on in Jordynne Grace's title reign. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you were just coming in, I hope you go back and check out me talking about Jordynne Grace's super successful title reign. And I hope to see you guys back when we have another episode. Thank you guys. I love the talks. I like the feedback about what you enjoyed in Jordynne Grace's title reign so far. So I hope to see you guys back soon. If you haven't seen a lot of matches that were mentioned, you definitely want to go back and see Grace's title reign because she has just been handling business. Thank you guys once again for joining, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.